Any discussion? Senator Riviere.
In opposition.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Members, I did receive a response from the Attorney General to our questions from Friday night. And you may remember the first question that I asked was, does BLNR have the authority to issue revocable permits to Alexander and Baldwin for its diversion of water from East Maui that would allow A&B to use water for the remainder of their sugar operations in central Maui? And the first word of the answer is yes. Then, to be fair, I'll try to fairly paraphrase this. It says, the answer says yes, the BLNR has the general authority to dispose of water rights by permit under those conditions that will best serve the state of Hawaii. However, the BLNR might not be able to issue new revocable permits to A&B during the remainder of its sugar operations in central Maui. So it's a nuanced answer on that, but the point remains that there is an administrative process there, as cumbersome as some may feel it is. Question 2, will you include on a near future agenda of the, this was again addressed to the DLNR chair. It says, will you include on a near future agenda of the BLNR an item to allow the BLNR to consider granting new revocable permits to A&B for the diversion of water through the anticipated end of the sugar cultivation? So the answer is, while we recognize and appreciate the desire to place this matter on an agenda as quickly as possible, the BLNR's consideration of new revocable permits to A&B would likely not be placed on the agenda until A&B first completes an application for new revocable permits, including Chapter 343. So once again, it falls back on A&B to move forward with their permits. Further in elaboration, it says, on January 8th, 2016, the Honorable Rhonda Nishimura Circuit Court of the First Circuit invalidated 4 revocable permits issued to A&B. And I think we're all well aware that that is the nexus of why we're all having these discussions. On April 14th, not long ago, April 14th, the BLNR ordered A&B to commence the environmental review process in compliance with Chapter 343. So good, it's about time. Yesterday, on May 2nd, the BLNR ordered a briefing schedule and hearing on petitioner Namoku Aupuni Oko'olawi Hui's motion for action to be taken on by the BLNR. So the process is underway, folks. You may also be well aware that the Department of Land and Natural Resources has been engaged in a task force to figure out how to expeditiously start addressing these revocable permits. There's been many discussions about the travesty that will befall all agriculture in the state of Hawaii if we don't just go ahead and pass this bill, because we have to pass this bill or else everybody's going to be out of agriculture. Well, of course, over time that's been proven to be an exaggerated statement. The only people up that have a holdover permit status is A&B. There are 9 other permittees that have water permits in the revocable permit process. There's a little piece of information that you guys might not know. Is of the 9 other permittees, here's some of the rents that they're paying. $156 a year, $156 a year, $265 a year, $156 a year. They're very, very, very nominal. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. But what I'm saying is there's no interest for these people with the 9 other revocable permits to hustle down and get a long-term lease, because their rent will be adjusted accordingly. Many of you have seen the press release that occurred last week or recently about Alexander and Baldwin. The way it was portrayed was Alexander and Baldwin was willingly opening up 8 streams, and they're going to let them flow freely. And there's a big fanfare about that they're really stepping forward. Well, May 1st, the Maui News, it said Alexander and Baldwin has fully stored water to 3 of the 8 streams in East Maui. And then you continue on, it talks about the streams. And it says on Tuesday, HC&S General Manager Rick Volner said that the Waiokamilo, East Wailuanui, and West Wailuanui streams have been restored. And then the diversions that are permanently in place are the problem why they can't restore promptly any water flow to the other streams. Here's something interesting. It says, according to the Water Commissioner's report, HCNS already stopped diverting water from Waiokamilo stream. So that was months ago. So are they restoring the water, or are they not? Many of you have seen my email I sent out recently in a civil beat post. It talks about a guy who gets done washing his car and then leaves the water running going down the driveway, being wasted. Who can argue with that metaphor? I mean, that water pouring down the driveway for no valid use is an utter waste of water. So where's all that water going? Anywhere between 160 million gallons a day, and at capacity when it was really flowing, they were diverting up to 450 million gallons a day. But on average, based on the contested case and some of the documents, the best usable figure is 160 million gallons a day. That's more water than the island of Oahu uses. And they're diverting it, and they're no longer growing sugarcane. And they cannot control the flumes to release the water. They've got permanent diversions. This isn't A&B's water. It belongs to the state of Hawaii. It belongs to all the people of Hawaii. They don't have a permit right now. The court invalidated their permits, yet they're continuing to divert all of this water. Meanwhile, the process continues. They have to do their EIS one way or the other. They have to get permission from the BLNR. There is a process. It works if it is allowed to proceed. House Bill 2501 interferes with the judicial process. It is special legislation that can only be met. The terms of this bill can only be met by one particular entity. And while it may say that some others of these 9 might benefit from this, it's kind of an illusory class of people. It's not going to fix the problem. I would argue that it's going to create other legal and logistical issues. HB 2501 is a bad bill, and it's bad policy. Thank you.